प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यानुश्रहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः कीर्तिश्चाव्यवृताः सत्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Let us start from verse 35. किं स्मर्तव्यं पुरुषैः हरिनाम सदा नयावनी भाषा कोहिनवाच्यस्त्रिया परदोषश्चान्दनं तद्वत् किं सम्पाद्यं मनुजैः विद्या वित्तं बलं यशः पुण्यं कः सर्वगुणविनाशी लोभः शत्रुश्च कः कामः काचसभा परिहार्या हीनाया वृद्धसचिवेन इह कुत्रावहितस्यान्मनुजः राजसेवायाम् प्राणादपिको रम्यः कुलधर्मः साधुसङ्गश्च का संरक्ष्या कीर्तिः पतिव्रता नैजबुद्धिश्च का कल्पलतारोगे सच्छिष्यायार्पिता विद्या को क्षयवटवृक्षः स्यात् विधिवत्सत्त्वात् तदत्तदानं यत् किं शस्त्रं सर्वेषां युक्तिः माता च का धेनुः किं बलं यद्धैर्यं को मृत्युः यदवधानरहितत्वं कुत्र विषमिदं दुष्टजने किमिहाशौचं भवेदृढं नृणाम् किमभयमिह वैराग्यं भयमपि किं वित्तमेव सर्वेषाम् कः दुर्लभा नराणाम् का दुर्लभा नराणाम् हरिभक्तिः पातकं च हिंसा को हि भगवत्प्रियः स्यात् योऽन्यं नोद्वैजयेदनुद्विग्नः Oh, so till yesterday we had exactly 100 questions. 101, 102, 103. Okay. कहा दुर्लभा नराणां हरिभक्तिः 101. का दुर्लभा नराणां दुर्लभा सुलभा. They are two pairs of opposites. Durlabham means dukkhena labdhum shakyam durlabham. Sulabham means sukhena labdhum shakyam. So whatever that is easily obtained is called sulabha. Whatever is difficult, very difficult to obtain is durlabha. Naranam ka durlabha. The answer he says is Hari Bhakti. So one may feel that this seems to be little difficult to believe, because today we find millions of people going to temple, that bhakti is there. So this bhakti that they define in our shastras is beautifully stated. What is bhakti? By Shankara. There are two kinds of bhaktis which one is defined. Shankara in his Shivananda Lahari defines bhakti by exclusively devoting one verse, by giving various similes. And if you look at Narayaniyam, it will be repeatedly saying in various contexts. Parama prema. So that is what is bhakti. Paramam prema. Okay? Extreme love, that's what they say. So kahadurlabha naranam hari bhakti. If you look at this Viveka Chudamani, so bhakti is defined. That is Swaswarupa Anusandhanam Bhakti Rityabhidhiyate. Swaswarupa Anusandhanam Bhakti Rityabhidhiyate. In fact, one may think that there is contradiction between the two definitions. But if you carefully analyze, both are essentially meaning one and the same. So we'll see how it is. So if you look at Narada Bhakti Sutra, etc., everywhere they define bhakti as infinite love towards something. This is bhakti. Okay. So we'll see how Shankara defines in his Shivananda Lahari. He says, Ankolam nijabija santatihi ayaskantopalam suchika sadhvi nija vibhum latakshitiruham sindhusaridvallabham prapnotiha yatha tatha pashupatehe adarvindadvayam cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada sa bhaktirittyuchyate ankolam nija bija santatihi ayaskantopalam suchika sadhvi naija vibhum latakshitiruham sindhusaridvallabham. In fact, there are 5 examples. So you will see the gradation of examples also. So through these examples, he is communicating to you what bhakti is. Prapnotiha yatha tatha pashupate padarvindadvayam cheto vrittihi upetya tishtati. Cheto vrittihi upetya tishtati. Upetya means prapya, tishtati. See, so your thought waves go and remain in the Padarvinda of Parameshwara. Okay. So Parameshwara, Hari, Hara, etc. So let us leave it. So that particular aspect is not of much significance. What is bhakti is of significance here. So the examples are very important now. The first example he says, Ankolam nija bija santatihi. So Ankola is supposed to be a certain kind of a tree. Okay. So it is said that the seeds of the tree, when they fall, they go back to the tree. So that is what they say. Nija bija santatihi. The second example that he gives is Ayaskanto palam suchika. Ayaskanta refers to magnet. So suchika is the pin. Okay. So the pin, as it gets attracted towards the magnet. Then sadhvi naija vibhum. Sadhvi means pativrata. So naija vibhum. So one's own husband. So as her mind will always be contemplating upon her husband. So suppose he has gone. So when will he come? When will he come? So you can think of Sita and Ram. Sadhvi naija vibhum. Then he says, Latakshitiruham. See, a creeper will always look for a tree. Okay. So as it gets tightly bound, Latakshitiruham. Sindhusaridvallabham. Saridvallabha. Sarid means anything that flows. So river. Saridvallabha refers to ocean. So as the rivers reach the ocean, Now these are 5 similes. So through these similes he conveys how our thought process should be oriented towards Ishvara. Okay. So Ankolam, if you look at the first one, so you can easily separate out, perhaps if you take the seed away, okay, so then perhaps it cannot reach. Okay. So similarly, if you stop the pin from reaching, so with a little force from your side, you can stop it from reaching. But if you look at the third example, see, Sadhvi Naija Vibhum, it will be far more difficult to distract that Pativrata from thinking of husband. Okay? Unless there is some other serious thought which comes, he may always be oriented towards thinking. So it's far more stronger. Then Lata Kshitiruham. So the creeper, so you can see any creeper, I mean even here you will see several creepers, they somehow find a way, and once they start going around the tree, it will be extremely difficult for you to take it out. If you take, I mean it will be life gone. Then final thing, if you see, it will be almost impossible. Okay? So rivers can never ever be stopped from reaching the ocean. Okay? So these are stages in which he presents bhakti. So if at all our mind is like this, then it is real bhakti. Okay? So that is what is bhakti. Understand? So this is going and offering some coconut, so to fulfill your wish. So this is at a very, very low level. So this higher level bhakti, so that is difficult. So you go and pray to Ishvara to get something done for you, and you offer something, etc., etc. But a continuous thinking of Ishvara which is born out of infinite love, so that is Surdas, Mirabai, and so on and so forth, that is real bhakti, Gopikas. Gopikas are beautiful examples of that. So that is what he is saying is difficult. In fact, Bhattatri, in various places he prays, so may I be blessed with that bhakti, may I be blessed with that bhakti. Okay? So that is how he says. In fact, in one of the Dashakas towards the end, so he says, Aikyante Dana Homa Vrata Japa Niyama Vrata Niyama Tapas Sankhya Yoga Durapam. Durapam means it is very difficult. Okay? So Aikyante Dana Homa Vrata Niyama Tapas Sankhya Yoga Durapam Tvatsange Naiva Gopyaha Kila Sukriti Tamaha Prapurananda Sandram. So this Ananda Sandram is the effect of, ultimate effect of bhakti. So Prapuhu Ananda Sandram. Prapurananda Sandram Bhakteshvanyeshu Bhuyasva Vibahumanushe Bhakti Vatvamasam Tanmehetvam Bhakti Vadradhaya Haragadan Ahivatalesha. See, so the point here he is saying is Bhakteshvanyeshu. There are so many bhaktas, okay, but in spite of all this, so you consider the bhakti of the Gopikas as the supreme bhakti. That bhakti is what Shankara points out as the bhakti at various levels. So the ultimate bhakti, so we can see that, so nothing can stop us. At every instance I think of Ishvara. See? So this bhakti and the bhakti that we are talking, see, so Parama Premaspadatvam, this is what he says. And in fact, if you look at this Viveka Chudamani, so this Parama Premaspada, okay, is Atman. See, Swaswarupanusandhanam, when we say, what is Swaswarupa? Swaswarupa is Atma. Atman is so infinite love. See? So Parama Prema. So it is in this sense, so having Parama Prema is bhakti. So this is something which is very interesting. Sukha durlabha naran. That parama prema is something which is very difficult, which Prahlada had. So Mirabai had, and we have various other people. Suradas had. Even our Tyagaraja. So I am not caring for anything else but for Rama. So even the king says, Nidhisala Sukhama Rama means Sannidhi Sukhama, something like that. Okay. So that Sukha, ultimate Sukha, is derived through this. So that is what he is referring to. Ka durlabha naranam hari bhakti. Bhakti in its real sense. Durlabha. See, in fact, since you are asking, Prahlada in Bhagavata says, in order to make people orient towards achieving this state of bhakti, he says, what normally people do is all vanik. Nasabhritya savai vanik. He is putting it bluntly. Vanik means a vapari. So you give me this, I give you this. So I offer you this, you offer me this. So this kind of thing that we have is a deal that we want to have with Ishvara, and it is not born out of Parama Prema. And if it is Parama Prema, then whatever is offered by him is accepted by you. So that is what Jnana is also. So that is what they are saying as Durlabha. Sukhi ka durlabha naranam hari bhakti. So Patakancha kim himsa. So Patakam is sinful act. Okay. Patakancha himsa. So himsa is Patakam. So this himsa, so we need to understand there are three kinds of himsas. See, as we have hinted earlier. So it can be Sharirajanya himsa, Vagjanya himsa, Manasi himsa. So Sharirajanya is basically physically hurting others, etc. Okay. So this is Sharirajanya himsa. So Vagjanya himsa is Amritavachanam, Parushyam. See, all that is Vagjanya himsa. See. So then Manasiki himsa, see, so thinking of ill of others. See. So having some sort of a dvesha, so having krodha, okay, over a long periods of time. So these are all Manasiki himsa, even asuya, so all these are all Manasiki himsa, because it is not something which you may show physically or you may use verbally. Okay, so intolerance is also a himsa. Okay? So these are all himsa. Patakancha kim himsa. In fact, any kind of physical abuse is himsa. In fact, this kind of himsas have gone. See, Manasiki himsa, it's a little hard to handle, but at least, so Kayika himsa, we should try to avoid. So some people who are out of their control, they do Kayika himsa also. If you see all these kinds of abuses which are done towards human, so or one fellow hitting the other fellow, is all born out of physical himsa. So if you go and spit on the other today, so this is himsa, physical himsa. Okay. Anyway, so Patakancha kim himsa ko hi bhagavat priyasyat yonyam nodvejayedanudvignaha ko hi bhagavat priyasyat. Bhagavat priyaha kaha syat. Bhagavat priyaha. the one who is liked by Bhagavan. So this is how this compound has to be understood. Bhagavat Priya. Okay. In fact, there are several verses in Bhagavad Gita, almost 7-8 verses are there. In the later part of 12th chapter, Bhaktiman, Me Priyo Naraha, so on and so forth. Okay. It starts with Advaita Sarva Bhutanam and it goes on till the end of 12th chapter. He will say Bhaktiman Me Priyo Naraha. In fact, this Bhaktiman is not this Vyapara as Prashlada says. That Bhaktiman is essentially Atmavitu. In fact, this Bhakti, supreme Bhakti, so the way, the qualities that he describes, okay, so it is that kind of thing. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karunayevacha nirmamo nirahankaraha. So nirmamaha nirahankaraha, so these are all not easy things, okay. So anyway, so no, here the point is, so yonyam nodvejayet anudvignaha. So udvegaha is basically sort of disturbance. Yonyam nodvejayet anudvignaha. The one who does not disturb others by not getting disturbed himself. So it is very simple for us to understand. So if you are a disturbed person, obviously you will disturb others. So your face itself will disturb others. You understand? If you are a pleasant person, then you will influence the other person with pleasantry. So if you are a disturbed person, then you will influence the other person. Understand? So anybody who looks at you also feels disturbed. So therefore he says, Yonyam nodvejayet anudvigna. In fact, there is anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitancha yat. Yasman nodvijate loko lokan nodvijate jayaha. Harishamarisha bhayodvegaihi mukto. Almost the same as this. See. Yasman nodvijate lokaha lokan nodvijate jayaha. Harishamarisha bhayodvegaihi mukto yas sachame priyaha. So yasman nodvijate lokaha means looking at whom the world is not disturbed. Lokan nodvijate chayaha, the one by his act who does not disturb. You understand? Lokan nodvijate chayaha. See, for instance, there may be some people who may not care for the whole world, who may not fear from the world, but they themselves will be a source of fear. You understand? So here both aspects have to be understood. Yasmat nodvijate lokaha. Lokan nodvijate cha yaha. So the person who does not disturb. And it is very simple for us to easily understand. So if we are in good mental frame, so then I think we will be able to share happiness with others. Okay? So if we are disturbed, so in fact Bhagavan says, Harsha Amarsha Bhaya Budvegaihi Muktaha Yaha. See? So the other extreme is also a little difficult. See, Harsha means this is the kind of thing that people engage in. So extreme elation. Okay? So drinking too much. Okay. So all kinds of things. Okay? Harsha, Amarsha. Amarsha is essentially intolerance. Amarsha, Bhaya, anxiety, Udvegaha. Amarsha, Bhaya, fear, anxiety. So all this. Okay? So any of them, in fact, so if you have fear, then you are a disturbed person. So if you are too anxious, you are obviously a disturbed person. Okay? If you are intolerant, see even, so we have several examples here. So even as we walk, so anything so that is done, so pro In fact, anything that goes against their line of thinking, so that will make them intolerant. So that will disturb. So the moment you see them, you will be seeing all this. So this is all hatred. In fact, there is nothing in the world unto which we can develop hatred. There could be some things which could perhaps be disgusting, but there cannot be anything. Okay, so we can develop hatred towards. So once we develop that, then you are Udvigna person, and thereby you will transfer this Udvega to the other. That is why Udvejayet Kohi Bhagavat Priyasyat Yonyam Nodvejayet Anudvigna. Okay? Read this. Kadurlabhanam Haribhakti Pathanam Shahim Himsa Kohi Bhagavat Priyasyat Yonyam Nodvejayet Anudvigna. Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha
Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha
Buddhi Kwanu Bhusure
Buddhi Kwanu Bhusure Buddhi Kwanu Bhusure
Kuto Buddhi
Kuto Buddhi Kuto Buddhi
Vruddhopasevaya
Vruddhopasevaya Vruddhopasevaya
Ye vruddhaha ye dharmatatvajñaha
Ye vruddha ye dharmatatvajñaha Ye vruddha ye dharmatatvajñaha.
This Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha Buddhi Kwanu Bhusure Kuto Buddhi. Okay. There is some little problem. Vruddhopasevaya Vruddhopasevaya Ke Vruddha Ye Dharma Tatvajñaha. Vruddhopase. So we have to go up to K. That is where the Ardha ends. Okay. Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha. There are 4 questions in this. Okay. Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha. Siddhi generally means success. Siddhi. So we refer to Ashtama Siddhi and so on and so forth. Anima, Mahima, Garima, so all that. Okay. That is also Siddhi. Those who have acquired certain special capacities by which they can extract the visha of the body, etc., they are all called Siddhas. Okay. So those who have some special powers. So the special powers are gained by what? Okay. So that is the other way of understanding the Siddhi. Okay. So one is Siddhi, general success. Okay. And Kasmat Siddhi means by what means do you get Siddhi? This is the question. Okay. What is the means to gain Siddhi? From where do you get Siddhi? Kasmat Siddhi Tapasaha is the answer. Okay. So Tapasaha, see, tapas can mean some religious austerity. So any kind of vrata that you do. So tapas can also mean dedication. Okay. So in different senses tapas is used. Deep meditation is also called tapaha. Okay. So tapaha. Kasmat siddhihi tapasaha. In fact, we have this, this deep meditation. So in fact, any siddha, so he would have just resorted. Okay. So not by staying here. So siddhas are generally available in the hilly area. They have dedicated themselves towards acquiring some power by severe austerities. Okay, deep meditation. So that is how the siddhi comes. Or through mantra japa. Okay, lot of mantra chanting. So by isolating oneself, we have this. Then only this kind of siddhi. See, we have Dhanyanam Girikandareshu Vasatam Jyotif Param Dhyayatam. So they are actually tapasya. They are beautiful verse. Dhanyanam Girikandareshu Vasatam. Girikandareshu Vasatam means, so those who are in Giri. So Giri is mountain. Kandara means caves. Okay, Kandara. See, there is a word called Kandhara. There is a word called Kandara. Kandara means caves. Kandhara, Kandhara can refer to two things. See, so there the word kam means water. Kam dharatiti Kandhara. And in fact, this is also called Kandhara. The neck is also called Kandhara. So there, kam means Shiraha. Okay. So kam has various meanings.
Kandhara, shoulder. Shoulder also.
Basically that which bears neck is, see, that's what they generally refer to. Kandhara. Okay. Kandara here. Giri Kandareshu Vasatam Jyotif Param Dhyayatam Anandashrukanam Pibanti Shakunaha Nishankamam Keshayaha. Then Asmakantu Manoratho Parachita Prasadavapi Tatak Krida Kanana Keli Kautukadisham Ayuf Param Kshiyate. Without achieving any siddhi. That is what he is saying. Dhanyanam Girikandareshu Vasatam. Those are really blessed people who are dedicating themselves towards achieving something, tapaha, special powers, for the welfare of humanity. The siddhas are not for showing anything. It is to benefit the humanity by acquiring some siddhis. Okay? So we want to benefit the humanity. So for this, you have to do this. That is why Dhanyanam Girikandareshu Vasatam Jyotif Param Dhyayatam Anandashrukanani. So as they do this meditation, the tears of joy flow down. Anandashrukanani. There he says, Pibanti Shakunaha. Shakuna means birds. See, it's a beautiful description. So they comfortably come and sit and take those droplets. Nishankamam Keshaya, sitting on their laps. Nishankam means without any fear that he may hurt us. On the other hand, what are we doing? He says, Asmakantu Manoratho Parachita Prasada Vapi Tatak Krida Kanana Keli Kautukayusham. Keli Kautukayusham means, so he thinks of, see, I should have this kind of bungalow, I should have this, I should have this, I should have a swimming pool there, I should have a garden here. So you keep on thinking and planning to have all these things, and by this itself, the entire life is gone. Manoratho Parachita Prasada Vapi Tatak Krida Kanana Keli Kautukayusham. So enjoying all this, or contemplating to possess always, ayuh param kshiyati. So there is no siddhi, nothing. Okay. So siddhi, so even siddhi means success. So the siddhi, so siddham jnanam means, so faultless knowledge if you want to have, then you need to have tapas. So atma jnanam if you want to have, you need to have tapas. So for anything worthwhile to be achieved, one has to be highly disciplined person. So high discipline is required, which leads to deep meditation, continuous contemplation, whether it is mantra avarti or the subject matter that you want to deeply contemplate. Kasmat siddhi tapasaha buddhi kvanu. I have seen this Paramacharya, this Paurnami, when it comes, he will come out and then he will see the moon for hours together. Okay, hours together. They will be. So Jyotif Param Jayatam. This is just a physical Jyoti through which, so we had this couple of days back. You light a lamp and then you see the Jyoti. So this is natural Jyoti that is given to us, which is quite cool. So this is how they, so you can have either this Jyoti or that Jyoti or Atma Jyoti. See, this physical Jyoti, in fact Atma Jyoti is a beautiful word. Okay. Kasmat siddhi tapasaha buddhih kvanu bhusure. Buddhih kvanu. In fact, we have this, no? Tapasa anashakena tametam vedanavachanena brahmana vividishanti yajnena danena tapasa anashakena. To understand the nature of your own self, there also tapas is. Okay. The way in Upanishad they will say, so tapaha tapaha. Satapo tapyata tadapas tapva. Okay. So buddhi kvanu. Where do you find buddhi? Buddhi kvanu. Okay. Where do you find buddhi? Like head problem. Buddhi kvanu. See, where is it when they ask? He says bhusure. The word bhusura is a term that is used to refer to Brahmana. Okay. Bhusura means, see, in this earth, suraha. See, suraha means divine. Bhusuraha. So divinity in this earth. So it is in that sense they use the word bhusura. Buddhi kvanu bhusure. So buddhi kvanu bhusure. Why don't we find elsewhere is the question that one may immediately ask. See, buddhi kvanu. This buddhi actually should be understood as something which is very deep and which cares for the entire world. It's not that for having ahara, vyavahara and all that. So that is there even in all pranis. Okay? So buddhi is always there in all pranis. Suppose you take a stick, the cow will go. So does it not have buddhi? So everything has buddhi, okay, at some level. But buddhi here means something which has the ability to foresee, something which has the ability to care for others. Okay? So something which has the ability to lay down principles which will lead the society for the entire well-being of humanity. So this is what the buddhi that one is talking about. And that does not simply arise, okay? It arises only through certain high disciplines. In fact, this is why Bhusura, as I told you, literally means Brahmana. But what is the disposition of a Brahmana? So that we need to understand. For this one has to look at why is Shankara saying Buddhi Manu Bhusure? It refers to those who practice those things are qualified to be called as real Brahmanas. So what are the things? If you look at Bhagavad Gita, Shamo Damas Tapashautam Kshantirajyavameva cha Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. So Shamo Damaha Tapaha Shaucham Kshantihi Arjavam Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam. There are 9 things which have been listed. So those who possess them are real Brahmanas. In fact, Brahmanas should possess them both ways. So that is why he is saying, if you actually look at these qualities, if you possess, so then you will be really Buddhiman. See, look at this. Shamaha. Shamaha basically means Antarindriya Nigraha. Damaha means constraint, okay, restraint, having Bahirindriya Nigraha. Okay, either way one can say, but Shamaha, Damaha, Tapaha, you have just seen. Shaucham, see, inner purity, external purity, both. Kshantihi, so Kshama, so we discussed at great length. Arjavam means straightforwardness. Straightforward essentially means, so there is a unison between mind, speech and action. This is what is Arjavam. Shantir Arjavameva Jnanam Vijnanam. Jnanam Vijnanam, I mean, you should not understand this Jnanam means something, Vijnanam means science, etc. Not like that. In fact, Jnanam is mere knowledge, and Vijnanam is well assimilated knowledge. The Kasarara Karpavai Katrapin Nirka Adarkutaha. You understand? That is what is Jnanam and Vijnanam. That is, I think, beautifully conveyed by Shankara there. See? So, Katra Karka Kasarara Karpavai Katrapin Nirka Adarkutaha. See, if you have really assimilated the Jnana, it sets out into action. Okay. So there is a Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam. It's another thing. See, Astikyam. Yesterday we saw somewhere Nastika. Ye Nastika Manujaha. So even if you have the eyes, you do not have eyes, right? See, Chakshushmanto Pyandha Kesyuhu Ye Nastika Manujaha. So Astikyam is Brahma Karma. So this is what actually gives you Buddhi. You understand? So Kuto Buddhi means, so if you practice these virtues, then you are really Buddhiman and you will be able to guide the world. This Buddhi essentially means by which you will be able to guide the world well. So lead well your own life and guide others. So this is what Buddhi is used for. Otherwise, in fact, we may not even have this usage otherwise. See, if somebody commits a mistake, then Buddhi is up. So what does it mean? So Buddhi obviously is there, right? If you understand the word Buddhi to be, then you will not even ask this question. Okay? So any wrong deed that is committed, so we ask these people, do you have Buddhi? If you had Buddhi, you would not have done it. So because this wrong deed is something which is going to lead to wrong result and show wrong paths also. That is why Buddhi Kvanu Bhusure Kuto Buddhi Vruddhopasevaya. See, so this is again a very important thing. See, how do you gain this Buddhi? Acquire this. See, so there he says Vruddhopasevaya. Vruddha Upasevaya means by following their path. Okay? Vruddhaha here refers to Jnana Vruddhaha, ye tapasvinaha, by following their paths. Okay? So Upasevaya. So Upaseva does not mean giving them some water. Okay? So So that doesn't really mean that. So upaseva, so by being with them, see, samipe sthitva yesham sevaya. So that ultimate seva is only in following them. In fact, there are various things. So I tell, in fact, Paramacharya, I have heard, I have told that this is how we need to live. We need to live life. So many times I have said, but they have not listened to me. So they feel that they are serving me. Serving me essentially means following what is being said. See, that is the greatest service that we can do. Okay. So doing some physical things, etc., etc. So that doesn't mean. So vruddhopasevaya. Kuto buddhihi vruddhopasevaya. And he says, ke vruddhaha ye dharmatatvajnaha. Ke vruddhaha. Right? So when he says these are three connected questions in fact. Okay. Ke vruddhaha. See, buddhihi kanu bhusare kuto buddhihi vruddhopasevaya ke vruddhaha ye dharmatatvajnaha. Dharma tattvajnaha. A very, very important statement. See, dharma tattvajnaha. See, dharma is what is to be performed. So, what is to be performed is not something which can be prescribed across all times, across all people. Okay. So, this will vary. That is why he is saying dharma tattvajnaha. So those who know the essence of dharma and who will be able to tell. See, there could be a lot of conflicts on various occasions. And there, so we finally go to some great acharya and take his decision. Okay. So otherwise there will be a lot of confusion. So that is where this bhakti and shraddha helps, because they have a certain insight, and that is born out of various practices that they do, so samadama and so on and so forth. So that kind of insight, so it doesn't just come like this. So ke vruddhaha ye dharma. In fact, we have this beautiful example of this. We were reading Ramayana a few days back, no? So this, so Kausalya tells Rama. Kausalya tells Rama, I am equally respectable like Dasharatha. Is it not true? I am your mother. So father said go. So now I am telling mother. So she is to be more respected than father. I am saying don't go. Okay. So you have to obey me also. So Rama says I have to take father's words, I have to obey father's words, therefore I am going. So then she says no. So then what will Rama do? So dharma tattvajnaha. See there, Rama, there are various ways in which he handles. So one verse he beautifully says, see, Nasti shakti pitur vakyam samatikramitum mama prasadayet mam shirasa gantumichhamyaham manam. He beautifully handles. He says, true, both are equally valid. Okay. But I have a problem. The problem is Nasti Shakti. I do not have the ability to transgress this Vakya. Pitur Vakyam Samatikramitum means transgressing. Nasti Shakti Pitur Vakyam Samatikramitum Mama Prasadayet Vam Shirasa. See, initially he puts it this way. Therefore I fall down at your feet. See, you mother is so loving to me. Now I have already made my mind, and it is so strongly gone in that this is Satya, and Satyavakya has to be anyway, the king has to be made Satyavakya. So if I obey you, both are equal, no doubt. But he will become Asatyavadi. Okay? So what happened? This is out of Priya, that is out of Dharma now. Understand? So therefore he says, Samatikramitum mama prasadayetvam shirasa gantum ichhami aham vanam. I would like to go to forest to keep the Raja a Dharmatma. So now you have to grant my wishes. Okay? So mother can sacrifice anything. So you please sacrifice the... And anyway after 14 years I will come and meet you. So that I am not going to stay with you is not true. I will be anyway staying with you for long periods. But so therefore he says Dharma. So finally that's why I am saying Dharma Tattvajnaha. Prasadayetvam Shirasa. It's a beautiful usage. So he could have just argued to Kausalya, no? Don't you know Dharma? How can you talk about this? He doesn't say this. I do not have the ability to transgress this, therefore I fall at your feet. May you be pleased and let me do what is pleasing to me. Nasti Shakti Pidur Vakyam Samatikrabitum Mama Prasadayetvam Shirasa Kantumichhamyaham Vanam. Then of course he talks about so Dharma is very important. Dharme Satyam Pratishthitam. See, all that he says. So it is what? That is what Dharma Tattvajnaha. Dharma Tattvajnaha is what I am saying. So Dharma Tattvajnaha yate Acharyaha. See, that is why people in those days, even now, some families, so they go to these Acharyas, take their blessings. Okay? So and then we proceed. I think we'll stop here. Om Sarve Ruchikina Santu Sarve Santayaramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Makaschit Mukhabhakhavi Om